Hi Taurus, Sun, Moon, Ascendant, or Venus. This is Dane, and I am going to be doing your June 2021 full moon reading for you. Now I ask if this reading resonates with you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. And if you're interested in any of the cards that I'm using, they will all be listed and linked in the description box below. Now before we begin this reading, let us clear the energy space, raising our own energy vibration and releasing any negativity. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. Releasing all negativity from the body like storm clouds. Letting yourself feel calm, centered, and at peace as we enter into this safe and loving space. Let's let the bowl sing as we see what the tarot has to say. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading. And show me clearly. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides, angels. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. So the bottom is our rooted self. The middle is our inner self. No, the left-hand side is our inner self. The middle is our heart, our emotional self. And the right-hand side is the public arena, the public self. So let's see how this moon will be affecting us, Taurus. At the bottom, at our root, we have the 9 of Swords and the 5 of Wands. That's intense. So the 9 of Swords is nightmares and battles with nightmares. That makes sense because this full moon is in Capricorn and the sun is in Cancer, and it's creating this conflict that is powerful and it's strong, and it's more intense than we want it to be. We want this time to be smooth sailing, very easygoing, and there are a lot of revelations made because of the conflict of the sun in Cancer and the moon in Capricorn, but it's also a harder road than we want to walk forward. So that makes sense with what we're seeing at our root. In our inner self, we have the Seven of Pentacles, which is patience. We then have the Seven of Cups. The repeat of the number 7 is telling us that we have to speak the truth during this time, no matter if people like it, no matter if we don't like it, or they don't like it. We have to speak the truth as we see it. And, we might be wrong, we might be right, but the Three of Pentacles is this working together with others and this collaboration. And it can even be with spirit and the energy that is around us, this profound, intense energy. It leads us to the public arena, which is the Queen of Pentacles. We're represented by the Pentacles in the minor arcana, and we're represented by the Hierophant in the major arcana. So we're coming through here as a queen, meaning we do not have to be center stage. So that's going to be something that's nice. And then we have the 10 of Pentacles, which is prosperity, success, bounty. I see this more right now as ancient wisdom really being important to us. And there's a sense of the richness of what once was. Now, it can be that we look back and we're remembering our family, and we're looking at things and saying, wow, that was a really rich time, even if we didn't have any money, even if it was a struggle, there was richness there. And I see that really coming forward. There's something here where things become more valuable than money. And yes, money is important. I will be the first one to absolutely state that. But there's a sense here of there's something more that's coming forward, and there's something ancient to this knowledge and this revelation. Our inner self, not our inner self, our public arena with the Seven of Swords. Interesting. And the Six of Swords. So we're moving forward, most definitely. And there's a bit of sneakiness going on that we need to kind of call out. And that's why the truth is going to be so important. We're going to see us calling out, hurts, pains, disappointments, doubts, fears, and really in our hearts accumulating a wealth that is going to surprise other people quite powerfully, quite intensely, but also really be on our side. It's like, wow, I can really move forward in a magnificent way. All right, now for this full moon in Capricorn. This full moon, during this time, with just listening to the way the bull sang and seeing the kind of slip-ups I've made with calling things different names, that's something we're going to have to be mindful of during this time, because just seeing it here, it's like, okay, the left-hand side said it was the heart instead of the inner self. When I first started, those are going to be things that Spirit is showing me. We have to just be mindful. We might be making little slip-ups that, saying the wrong thing, meaning something else. So just be mindful of that, because it can get annoying. So just not to other people, but to ourselves, we can get kind of a little bit harsh on ourselves. Like, why am I saying the wrong name? What am I doing wrong here? Why can't I remember? So just be a little bit kinder to yourself during this time when it comes to certain things like that. So yeah. Now we have the moon, and we always start off with the surrendering to the divine, which brings us to power, which brings us to greater understanding, which brings us to alignment with ourselves. And now with the full moon in Capricorn, it says the end of a tough cycle approaches. Now, why the end of a tough cycle approaches and isn't here already is because during this full moon, which is on the 24th of June, we are going to see, again, the conflict between Capricorn and Cancer arise. Again, Cancer is in, is the sun is in Cancer, the moon is in Capricorn, and Cancer is all about our private life, our home, and our nurturing. Capricorn is all about the public life, career, and responsibilities. So we're going to see ourselves in conflict already. The light that's reflecting off of the moon is all about nurturing. The moon itself, where it is right now, is all about duty, responsibility, and pushing forward. So we're going to see that during this time brings a battle of conditional and unconditional love. The unconditional love is, of course, of the sun, of Cancer. The conditional love is of Capricorn. If you get this done, then you will get shown love. You will get shown affection. You will, you will be deemed worthy. And for some of us Taurians during this time, that's going to be really upsetting. I might even say triggering, because we've experienced things like that, and that's not where we want to be. So do be mindful during this time. And I can see why it kind of throws us off our game. Also, the Queen of Pentacles is an earth sign energy, so Taurus, Virgo, and Capricorn. So we could have loved a Capricorn, and they could have been somebody who was either a parent, who was a lover, who was a sibling, somebody about building a family and richness. And we might be very melancholy if that didn't go the way that we intended it to, if the love was too conditional and we just found it heartbreaking. So there might be a need here for a mourning, just to be mindful of that. And that could be a very specific message for a very specific person, but the moon will be doing what the moon wants to do, and it's going to be powerful because of that. Now, with this time, okay, we want to nurture what is most sacred to us. And we want to do this while still going after our goals and achieving. That might not always be possible, because the nurturing the sacred and the being seen and the goal accomplishing doesn't always go hand in hand. That's why we come through again as the Queen, more behind the scenes. So we're kind of gravitating more towards the Cancer side of the argument instead of the Capricorn side. But there is also going to be the sense of earth sign energy calling to earth sign energy. So we're going to be able to see where the earth sign energy of this moon is coming from. Again, the end of a tough cycle is approaching. Why? Because we're calling ourselves out. We're seeing things much more honestly and openly than we have seen them before. Cancer calls to us valuing our roots and our home, which we can see very much coming right back to our heart. And Capricorn calls us to value duty, the public life, and public responsibilities. Now with Cancer, this brings us to the beginnings and roots. Capricorn brings us to goals. We have to find a way to balance our beginnings and our roots with the goals that we want to achieve. Now, during this time, we might think, oh my gosh, this is just a mess. All of this is going on. What do I get out of it? During this time, something that has been building up within us and that has longed to come out comes out during this moon. Okay? This moon is demanding that we let it be seen. We let this part of ourselves that we've locked away, that we've hidden away, be seen. And this will be an emotional time, but a time of profound revelations. So it's an end of a tough cycle by making us kind of go through a tough cycle. So, not all fun and games, no, but profoundly, intensely beautiful. It leads us to the new moon. Now, the new moon, which brings us to a new start, is coming and brings us to beginnings, is in Cancer. Now we have the sun in Cancer, we have the new moon in Cancer. This can make us astoundingly emotional. This can take away the kind of intense time of Capricorn and really just bring us completely into our emotions on the 10th of July, which is when the full moon is. And it says here, you and your loved ones are safe, because that's going to be what we're really worried about. We're going to be worried about our beginnings and our roots. We're going to be worried about our home life and our nurturing and our private responsibilities. So here, to say you and your loved ones are safe, that's going to be our main focus during this time. So during the new moon, we might be very into kind of like nesting and making sure everything is just right and making sure everybody is taken care of. Let that come out. And that's a big part of a Taurus personality, even if, if we've known negative Taurians, or even if people don't see that, because with a negative Taurian, that isn't going to be the main part of their personality. And people might not understand that about Taurus, that we are astoundingly sensitive and astoundingly sensual, and to embrace our family and to embrace the quality of the people around us is one of the most intrinsic things about us. It then leads us to the full moon in Aquarius. Show the world the real you. And that's a powerful statement, because a lot of times we show the world who we think they want us to be, what we think we should be. But to say, this is me, like it, great, don't like it, also cool. But this is me. That takes power and integrity and purpose and, this ferocity of spirit that we're aligning ourselves to during this time. And at this moment, we're ending the cycle that has been grinding on us, that has been tearing us down. And to be able to come out of that cycle, to be able to heal, which is what then the new moon does, and to be able to say, this is me, this is who I am. That is going to be such a game changer. And that is going to be that's going to be more than we think it is. So we're going to poo-poo that. We're going to think, oh, well, that's not really a big thing. It's going to be the biggest thing, Taurus. So let's see what our chakra energy is for this time. Taurus. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Inspiration, the sacral chakra. Now, the sacral chakra is also a tricky chakra to come up. It's where our creative energy is held, it's where our sexual energy is held, but it's also where all the negativity from this life and past lives are held. So here, there is this sense of, can I be happy? Can I create what I want to create? Can I have the love that I want to have? This pain is coming forward. Where is it from? Is it from this life and what I've experienced? Or is it from a past life and what my cellular memory is carrying forward? There's going to be more here than meets the eye. With the sacral chakra in inspiration, it's saying, how can I be inspired? How can I let the beauty come forward? How can I shine? And how can I let the new dawn be joyous and not filled with worry, doubt, and fear? It moves us then to the energy that we need to be mindful of during this time. What is the energy that Taurus needs to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? What is the energy that Taurus needs to be mindful of during the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. It's the Queen of Cups. It's letting our emotions get the best of us. We do tend to lean during this time a little bit more towards the Cancer aspect of it. And so water sign energy right here, Cancer, what is it? Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. There we go. And there's a sense that we need to be mindful of the moon taking over our blessings, our hearts, the joy that we see within our life. And so we need to kind of step back from the power of this moon because it has earth sign energy to it, the Capricorn energy. It has the reflection of Cancer. This is going to be a time that's greatly impactful, greatly intense, and much more fierce than we would have thought it would be. So we need to not let the moon rule our emotions. And we have to be very mindful of people whose emotions are being ruled by the moon, or whose emotions are ebbing and flowing like the tide, always in and out, in and out. There's no stability or rhythm or rhyme to it. Like, of course, there is with the tide, but they're going to be more unpredictable. So just be mindful of that. We can easily be sucked into other people's drama, other people's trauma during this time because we just want to help. We just want to be there for them. At our root, we have nightmares. We have the Nine of Swords. This is worry, doubt, fears, hardships, pains, disappointments. These are the nightmares coming forward. This can even be that we don't like sleeping right now. Why? We might not even know. But I don't want to rest. I don't want to stop if I can just keep pushing. And if we do this, our bodies are going to make us stop. And we might find that we fall behind on things. We might find that, things start to kind of fray at the edges. If we take care of ourselves, we can prevent this. The Nine of Swords is also looking at nightmares, doubts, fears, hardships, and pains. Things that keep us up at night even when we want to sleep. Things that make us doubt that we're on the right path or that we even know what the heck the path is anymore. The Nine of Swords is looking at it. And in the Rider-Waite-Smith deck, when we have the Nine of Swords, it's 9 swords lined up above a bed. It is a ladder to freedom, but that freedom is painful. And when we come to realizations of things, the freedom is always painful. The freedom of naming the pain, taking away its power of being the boogie monster that lives under the bed, naming things gives it power and takes away its terror-like quality. So if we name what we're afraid of, or even if we're talking to somebody, we're like, oh, I don't know, I'm so upset. And they say, well, yeah, you're upset because of XYZ, and you see it and it gets you mad because you're like, how dare you say I'm not upset about that? But you defend it so intensely and so angrily that it is something that you are upset about. So just being able to name it, being able to say it, being able to own it, that's going to be so important during this time because this time is all about the achievement, right? The Capricorn moon comes in and it's like, okay, it's time to achieve. The tough cycle is over. It's time to go for it. The Cancer sun is saying, feel, think deep. dig deep into what you want. Look at your heart and your soul. And so if we have the nightmares that come forward in both areas, we can't. We'll just be paralyzed. And that's what the Five of Wands is showing us. We will just start fighting and making drama and making trauma over the stupidest things. Over things that if you look back at it, you're like, I don't even remember. I don't remember what that fight was about. I don't remember what I was so freaked out about. I don't remember. The Five of Wands comes, and it's conflict for the sake of conflict. At our root, we can be so used to fighting, that we just think, I have to. It's also saying that there might be trauma and drama around us. Fights that start off really small and then just blow up into something huge. So what we need to do here is step back. Step back and say, no, you know what? I'm not jumping into the fray of it. You know what? I'm not, embracing the craziness. I'm working things out for myself. I'm looking at what I desire, what I need. I'm letting go of so much pain and so much hurt and so much disappointment. And as I do so, at my root, I start to become more stabilized. But it can be during this time that we feel a little wobbly. And that's when we have to connect with ourselves. And we can find that to be a really big challenge. But remember, during this moon, something that has been building within us for quite some time is being let out, is being expressed. And we have to let it shine. And it is going to be overwhelming to be able to let that part of our personality, let this piece of ourselves out, whatever it may be. For some, it might be understanding some trauma that has been haunting us, okay? That has been haunting our subconscious, making it hard to sleep, making it hard to move forward. For others, it's looking at a perceived failure and cutting yourself some slack. For others, it could be looking at a time frame and saying, okay, well, I didn't do it during this time frame, but that's okay. And, it can also be like, oh, I wanted to get ice cream and I didn't get ice cream and now I'm mad at myself. We just have to look at it. And however silly it might seem, we have to give ourselves honor and respect. And it moves us then to the Seven of Pentacles, patience. In our inner selves, divinity is telling us to be patient because it's divine timing, not our timing, which is so annoying. We want things yesterday. But this is saying be patient as we build, as we grow, because it leads us to our dreams. Be patient with our dreams. We have been building this for longer than some could even imagine. And again, we want things in our time. But until we face all the boogeyman in the closet, until we, are honest with our fears and our doubts, we cannot let our dreams come forward. Because a lot of times, part of what we fear about our dreams is that once it's out into the world, it's going to be ruined. What we might be able to produce or how people might perceive it will never be as beautiful as the dream itself. So how do we balance that? The dream with the reality, the hope and the wish, with all the grimy, mucky work that goes into creating it. And then we have the Three of Pentacles. In our inner self, we have to realize we're not in this alone. And we can't be in it alone. That will just stop us. Either we embrace our connection with spirit, with divinity, or we embrace our connection with people on this earthly plane and realize that they're helping us grow and build and develop. But we also cannot give them so much credit and say, oh my gosh, look at everything that they did. I did nothing. I was just sitting here. They did it all. That's not going to be true. And we're going to then want to go to the other extreme. I did it all. Look at them taking the credit for it. What the heck? We have to balance it. We have to balance it as we have to balance ourselves during this time, because it will be very easy for us to pendulum from one extreme to another. It leads us to the Queen of Pentacles. The Queen of Pentacles is prosperity and success and bounty. It's nourishing the seeds. It's being seen as somebody who has it figured out. Whatever that proverbial it is that the person who's looking at you is seeing, they see you having a bit more than them. The Queen of Pentacles is prosperous, is bountiful, knows what she wants. Even if that changes in 5 minutes, we're going to be very confident as we're moving forward. We're also looking at things that were planted within our hearts. And we have to be very mindful of this. things that were planted within our hearts that have to do with conditional and unconditional love. What are we nourishing, and how are we moving forward? Was the love that we grew up with conditional, or was it unconditional? What is it that we want? What is it that we need? What is it that we long for? What are we nurturing and building? How are we moving forward in prosperity and in success? Because there's something here about going to the elder. And it can be communing with our ancestors. It can be going to an elder member of our family, our friend group, talking, connecting. The 10 of Pentacles is prosperity and success and bounty that lasts for generations. What have we been handed down that is a generational blessing? We talk about generational curses. And that's how our parents were raised, how they raised us, or how our caregivers were raised, how they raised us, the hurts and the pains that are passed down. And that's easily understood. But what about the blessings? Did we have a blessing that was given to us? Even if we have to dig deep to find it. A way of loving, a way of connecting, a way of looking at success and money and bounty that really does move us into a powerful place. Here, the wisdom comes from the old man, right? He's robed in bounty. The dogs sit at his feet. It's going to be something more instinctual, more natural. The child looks at him. He's not looking at the parents or at the grown-ups that are talking. He's looking at the wisdom that is coming, the thing that isn't easily seen in the hustle and the bustle of the world. So we're being told here to step back and see the bounty that is coming our way, the blessing that is coming forward. Now, can this be an inheritance? Absolutely. But what type of inheritance? Because spirit values the heart almost more than it values money. So do be mindful of this. Be mindful of if you're cooking or if you're doing something and all of a sudden you remember a song that used to, like your mom used to sing or your grandma used to sing while they were cooking, or your dad or your grandpa. How was it? How was it that things came together, or your aunt or your uncle? Like, there's going to be things here that start to build memories, that start to build richness around us, and that make us stand differently, that make us move forward in pride in ourselves and pride in what we're discovering. The 7 of Swords in the public arena, they're lies. But there's also a sense of we're not telling anybody the truth either. Not anybody, but everybody. There's a sense of I need to build what I need to build, and it's not your business. And it can be that we're just not telling anybody because, two can keep a secret when one of them is dead, right? The old song or statement. But here, with this 7 of Swords, there's a sense of I've seen the sneakiness. I've seen the lies. I've seen the hurts. I've seen the pains. I've seen the disappointments. I see it, and I understand it. And I'm not fooled anymore. And that's going to be a thing that gets people. It's like, oh, I've been down this road. Like, this isn't my first rodeo. I'm not shocked. and that's going to be something where people are surprised with how powerfully invested you are in things, Taurus. How much you see that others do not. And then it brings us to the 7 of Swords, the 6 of Swords, which is gathering up the knowledge, gathering up the information, and moving forward. It's taking it with us. And it's slaying the monster. It's knowing that emotionally things might be rocky, but I need to move forward. I need to move forward towards what I want, what I desire, and where I long to be. So let's see what the moon has to say. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Okay, that one goes there. Angels and spirit guides. How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? How will Taurus be affected by the June 2021 full moon? Angels and spirit guides, show me clearly. Guide this reading and show me clearly. Angels and spirit guides. Angels and spirit guides. At our root, we have nothing is yet set in stone and gratitude. Our inner self, creation, and hold to your vision. Our heart, take time to breathe out, assessing. And the public arena, a fiery climax approaches, change. I like that. Everything is like, be calm, be settled, and then bam, in the public arena, it's like, just go for it. And that's really going to be something that's good for us, to just go for it, to just see, to just embrace and experience. Nothing is set in stone. Our nightmares, our fears, our doubts, our battles, nothing is set in stone. It will not be forever. Gratitude. Gratitude for what we have learned, for the hardships and the pains and the disappointments and the joys and the blessings and everything in between. There is beauty in the evolution, but there is scariness and fear in there too. And the story is always evolving. And for some reason, I feel a great wash of sorrow come over me as I say this. And I don't know why. And there's just power in the connection that's coming to you, in the connection that's washing over you. And it's from the past. It's from a sense of nothing has complete permanence. And I hope when you connect with this, it's not just sorrow that you feel. It's because it's not just sorrow. It's like, it's a pain in the heart, but it's also this like beauty. It's like, oh my goodness, I can't believe it. I can't believe what's moving forward now. But first comes a tinge of pain. So I don't know exactly what that means or how that comes forward, but there's something beautiful here that is guiding you. And don't let it pass. Just don't. Okay, creation. Hold to your vision. In the public arena? No, in the inner self. When we create, we need to hold to the vision that we are creating, but not so tightly that we do not let the room in for spirit. We do not let the room in for whatever this force is that comes forward. Creation is going to be a part of us during this time. To create, to cultivate, to see, to understand, to build more. Hold to your vision. Hold to what you desire. But never so tightly that you do not let the wonderment in. Take time to breathe out when it comes to our hearts and assessing. So it's kind of like when you're stretching, or I just see like pulling back a bow and you breathe out before you shoot. Or at least that's what I've read. Because you calm and you center yourself and you let go of all tension. And that's what I see here. Take time to breathe out as you assess, as you take aim, so that you fly true towards what you want, towards what's developing, towards what is needed. A fiery climax approaches. It brings change. Why? Because this is an emotional time with profound revelations. It's going to be fiery. It's going to be intense. It's going to be more than we had thought it would be. Now, of course, and I don't remember if I said this, but this time affects Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn the most. So if you have those areas in your chart, they come out. If you're born on the cusp with Aries, this part of your personality is going to come out intensely, and it's going to be hyperly affected by this moon. Change is coming. The moon comes in, and it comes in like a bat out of hell, and it changes so much. It guides so much. It leads us forward in such a profoundly different way. So this is a time where we need to embrace that. The fiery climax, the passion, the insights, the ideas, the power of the mind, and the change and the secrets that it brings. This is important. The way that we fight, but also the way that we step back from fighting, and knowing that there's more here than meets the eye. Our subconscious. chakra message is again the sacral chakra. This time, flexibility. How do I embrace my flexibility? How do I move forward when I have my creativity, my sexuality, my sensuality, my erotic being coming forward, and then I have all the burdens from this life and from past lives just trying to weigh me down, trying to take away this energy, this bliss, this connection? How do I? How can I? And where does the wisdom come from? Where does the flexibility of mind and movement come from? How do I embrace this? And how does it embrace me? Subconsciously, we're going to see our minds being more flexible, kind of getting out of our comfort zone, saying, well, what about this side of the story? What about this? And what about this? Immense curiosity. And just embracing a flexibility, being able just to move, especially the hips. It's going to be very important to move the hips, even just, kind of like practicing belly dancing. It moves us to, or just being very mindful also of our hips becoming not being flexible. So it doesn't have to be like you move your hips like belly dancing. It can be that that's too much. It can be that we just need to start stretching, or we need to embrace a brace just for a little bit of time, or for however long it makes you feel comfortable, to be able to have the hips feel more secure and more fluid within their movements. Our subconscious energy to be mindful of is the Death card, Scorpio energy, time frame October 23rd to November 21st. This is the changing energy. This is the dying away of the old self, the rebirth of the new, the fact that all is flux and nothing stays the same. But this is secrets and doubts and fears, half-truths and manipulations. So be mindful of that. Our subconscious message at our root is the King of Cups, water sign energy, Pisces, Scorpio, Cancer. Again, this shows, once again, that Cancer plays a big part in our lives during this time. At our root, with the doubts, the fears, and the questioning and the chaos, the battle for the sake of battle, is a sense of, can I be emotionally vulnerable? Can I open up my heart the way that I want to? The King of Cups, for me, knows that he rules just one person in this world, and that's himself. We cannot rule anybody else, even if we try to. There's one person who will listen to every word that we say, and also who will not, and that's us. So rule by example, and that is at the root of who we are. Ruling by example, keeping our word and moving ourselves forward. Our subconscious inner self is the Ten of Pentacles, prosperity, which is at our heart. We have the Ten of Pentacles now coming up in our emotional self and now in our inner self. Prosperity, success, bounty, beauty, wealth that lasts for generations. Again, there's a sacred message coming forward. Listen to it. It will move you in ways you don't even know. And I don't know exactly how for each and every one of you, but it's profound and it's deep, and it has to do with something that makes you richer than a king. It moves us to our subconscious emotional message, which is the Knight of Pentacles. I love that in our tarot for our hearts. We have the Queen of Pentacles, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Knight of Pentacles. It's all about prosperity, but it's all about us. And I like that. Our hearts, we can be a little bit egocentrical during this time. A little bit, like some might say, narcissistic. So do be mindful of that. Step back from that tendency that all people have. And be able to embrace the beauty and the prosperity that we are using to move forward in. This is being focused on our goals. This is slowly and steadily moving towards what we desire, want, dream, wish. This is having our armor on because the world is cruel and we're not fools. And this is moving towards what we desire with a goal in mind and focus ahead. It leads us then to our subconscious inner self. Gosh. Okay, so during this time, our inner selves and our public selves, they're just going to be, that energy flows through back and forth really, really easily. So be mindful of that we can have, secrets and having to traverse troubled waters and taking, what we've learned with us. And this can very much be part of an inner journey too. And we can also have ourselves, looking at having to be patient and looking at what we most dream of and collaborating with others. And they go back and forth. So just be mindful of the fluidity of this energy here, because that's what Spirit wants me to say. It brings us then to our subconscious public arena, which is the Knight of Swords. Knight of Swords is air sign energy, Gemini, Libra, Aquarius, linking us with the full moon on July 23rd. The Knight of Swords is much more fast acting than the Knight of Pentacles. So our heart wants to move slowly and steadily. And in the public arena, we're thinking, if not now, then when? If not me, then who? I will go, I will seize the day, and I will go after what I want. The Knight of Swords sees with ferocity what needs to be cut through, what needs to be gotten rid of, what needs to be addressed in order for us to ascend in a vibrational energy that calls forward prosperity, that calls forward blessings, that leads us to success. The Knight of Swords is going to lead us to more. As it cuts through nightmares, doubts, and fears, the part of us that hoards away our bounty and our brilliance and our beauty, because we're afraid of what the world will do when it judges it. It leads us to our subconscious moon message. Emotions are running high. Absolutely. Absolutely. This moon is about emotions and then, wanting to rein in those emotions. And then we have abundance. So emotions are running high. And that is actually going to be a gift. Ooh, this wasn't a good idea. There we go. That's actually going to be a gift as the emotions run high, of the abundance that is going to come into our world, of the gifts that are moving us forward in a way that we haven't expected, and about where we want to be, how we want to be, and what we desire. It's a little bit raw this time, but it's a heck of a powerful and intense ride. Oh, and I like that. Your card right underneath this is the new moon in Taurus. Prosperity lies ahead. That's just a brilliant, brilliant message, Taurus, for you. All right, Taurus. I hope this reading has resonated with you. I wish you nothing but light, love, peace, and happiness. May harmony always be with you. I'm sending loving, healing energy to each and every one of you. I love you all, and stay safe. Let's end this reading with a meditation, a clearing away of negative energy, a raising of our positive energy as we connect with a blessing that can move us to tears and that opens our hearts in such a way that is astounding. The fact that this moon is going to be more powerful for us than we realize, and it's going to promote a profound and intense change. So take a nice deep breath in, exhaling whenever it feels comfortable for you. May you move forward in peace and in harmony, Taurus, and may you have a blessed moon.